Hey guys, welcome back to another video here at American Legacy. We're going to do the top 3 baits of July. So it's July, it's hot, but there's still fish to be caught. So the fish are kind of in a transition period this time of year. You know, early May or mid-May to all the way through June, they really get out offshore good. But July is actually the first month where they really kind of start to meander around, get out of their schools and break up, you know, their offshore pattern, so to speak. They start to meander towards the flats, get in brush that were adjacent to that deep water, and some groups of fish actually start to move all the way back to the pockets in the very backs of the creeks. There's cooler water back there, and also you got that first hatch from the shad spawn, those small minnows that start to get back in the backs of those creeks, and this is kind of the first time of the year that they start to feed on those. So the first bait that I would keep in my boat this time of year is something to flip. And I like a slender profile this time of year. This is a tube. I like it on this is a 7.6 G Loomis NRX extra heavy, 5/16 ounce weight. A 3/0 Eagle. This is a Trocar tube hook. Let me show you this thing here. It's pretty wicked looking, but it's a really good hook for tubes. It really hooks them good. I like a 5/16 ounce weight. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It really doesn't spook the fish, so to speak, and it's also, you know, allows you to be efficient getting in and out of cover. But I like to flip a tube, 17 pound to 20 pound fluoro. This is a 8:2 gear ratio SLX XT by Shimano. It's just good getting in the backs of the creeks. Like I said, those fish they're getting back there, or even, you know, a lot of times we have a lot of rain that we're still dealing with from the spring, and like I know our reservoirs around here are still 6 to 11 feet high, so there's a lot of cover in the water. It keeps some of them fish up shallow, and it's always a good tool to have just to go down and flip laydowns or bushes or whatever kind of cover you guys have. The next bait is actually an offshore bait. It's a big Texas rigged worm. I like this because for those fish that are still out offshore, like I said, they meander into those brush piles and other stuff out on the flats. They're not grouped up as much per se, but this big ribbon-tail worm, I mean, it gets bites this time of year. I'm not sure if it's this long, slender profile and it's just slow moving or what's so great about it, but it's such a confidence bait for me this time of year, especially in those brush piles or stumps, dragging this thing through those, dead sticking it in those brush piles. It's really a good option for catching those fish that are really, you know, it's starting to get really hot and they're not moving as much and they're kind of really getting hard to bite. It's not quite time to start downsizing yet like you would in like August, but they really are somewhat not as active. I like to throw this on a 7.5 heavy. This Shimano Curado rod, 17 pound fluorocarbon, an 8:2 Shimano SLX XT reel. I like to, you know, have something fast to pick up slack when I get that bite. It is a 3/8 ounce weight unpegged. If you're fishing brush piles and stuff, sometimes it's unpegged or pegged. You just kind of got to mess around with it, but the unpegged certainly sometimes gives it a little bit more action. But yeah, that's definitely a staple I keep in my boat this time of year. It helps me get a couple extra bites. The third bait is a topwater bait, and it is a little popper. This time of year, like I said, those pin minnows, what we call pin minnows, those little bitty shad fry, they've hatched and they're in the backs of the creeks and they're really starting to get fed on. And these little poppers with these little feather trebles like that are a key player. I mean, it really mimics, you know, even the bubbles or the little splashes that it leaves. It really mimics those small bait well. And you can twitch it slow, you can twitch it fast, you can walk it. It's very versatile. But in the backs of those creeks and around laydowns and cover, this is a super, super key bait this time of year. I like to throw this. This is actually a 610. I like it so I can get it under bushes or get it under overhanging limbs. in the backs of pockets. I like this right now. I've got mono on this, but I like to throw it on braid with a mono leader. That mono leader allows me not to rip it out of this mouth when I start to reel, and it gives it a little more stretch. But that, 30-pound braid, 15-pound mono leader will do the trick for that. Like I said, this is actually a medium rod. I like that a lighter action rod. Helps me twitch it better, as well as has a good parabolic bend to pin those hooks into that fish, but not rip it out of them. This is a 7.2 SLX XT Shimano reel. I like a higher gear ratio so I can reel down and get to those fish quick when they blow up on it. So yeah, I mean, those are my top three baits for summer, or for July. Like I said, the fish are starting to move around, but you can kind of find fish everywhere, whether that be in brush piles or the backs of pockets or on laydowns. And depending on your lake, I mean, it kind of, like in the south, I know a lot of people are starting to fish night tournaments now, and slow roll those big spinner baits. Those are always good options. But as far as going out and getting bites on your lake, these three baits, I would bet you that they'll help you get at least a few extra bites this July. So thanks for watching, guys. That's it for the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps a lot. And be sure to leave a comment about what kind of content you like to see, whether it be tips and tricks or videos like this or fishing content. It really helps us get what we need out to you all. But we appreciate you watching, and stay tuned to see what the top three baits of August will be.